Egypt's Saka commandos continuously train, prepared and ready to respond to any situation. Saka's counter-terrorist unit has been called into action on several occasions. Perhaps the most notorious incident took place in 1985 when Egypt Air Flight 648 was hijacked by terrorists. As the airliner touched down in Malta, the terrorists began methodically murdering the passengers every few minutes, unless their demands were met.
I can't describe to you how I felt by seeing my passengers being killed in cold blood like this. It was awful, and I really hated every minute of it.
Saka counter-terrorist commandos responded with a full-on assault. The rescue quickly escalated into a fierce battle as the Saka commandos made their way through the inferno, neutralizing the terrorists while attempting to evacuate the endangered passengers. In all, 59 people were killed. The operation served as an example of Egypt's willingness to use the lethal force of Saka commandos to put an end to the threat of international terrorism. Perhaps the best example of Egypt's re-emergence as an important leader of the Arab world is their preeminent role in Operation Desert Storm. When more than 100,000 Iraqi soldiers spilled across their southern border, seizing Kuwait, it was Egypt's President Hosni Mubarak who took the lead in rallying the Arab world to stand firm against Saddam Hussein's renegade ambitions. Spearheading the Arab presence in the international coalition, Egypt quickly committed more than 50,000 ground troops to the Desert Shield forces. The talents of the Saka commandos were perfectly suited to the types of desert warfare necessary for the Kuwait situation.
Well, the role in a desert war of special forces is the classic role of operating behind enemy lines, deep in behind. And people get the wrong idea, thinking that the desert is open and flat and therefore special forces won't be able to operate. Well, they operate by using their skills of camouflage and mobility that they have, using either helicopters to operate in, or either parachuting into the area, or motoring in, using vehicles to go right wide round enemy positions.
The shock troop soldier can stay in the desert for maybe 15 or 21 days, watching the enemy or watching the other side, watching the environment, watching the daily activity of the other side, and sending his messages to the people in the headquarters. He knows how to get water in the desert, how to find the small creatures in the desert and eat them, like snakes, frogs, chickens, and maybe one potato. The strong will is considered as a very important factor for those people in shock troops.
For the cause of Arab unity, it was the Saka forces who re-equipped and retrained the Kuwaiti army in exile. In the short time between the Iraqi invasion and the launching of Operation Desert Storm, Saka specialists were called upon to transform the ragtag remnants of the Kuwaiti army into a rejuvenated fighting force. The Kuwaitis received instruction to enhance their skills in various forms of advanced weaponry. The Kuwaitis drilled extensively in martial arts and hand-to-hand combat techniques, demonstrating their fighting spirit and overwhelming zeal to reclaim their country. Of special concern was Iraq's possible use of weapons of mass destruction, especially chemical weapons.
Saka training was very important to the success of the Kuwaiti troops. We are proud to operate for the benefit of our Arab neighbors in liberating their country.
Upon completion of the training, the Kuwaitis conducted a realistic training mission simulating the type of operation which would soon help them regain their country. Armored tank units lead the ground attack, raising great columns of dust as they forged ahead of Kuwaiti infantrymen. Fighting their way across the desert, the Kuwaitis proceed into a simulated urban environment, utilizing their well-honed skills in door-to-door combat. Accomplishing their mission and with their training complete, the Kuwaiti soldiers victoriously wave their nation's flag, chanting, "Long live the Emir." In a few days, these men and their Saka mentors will assume their place on the battlefield, marching to victory in Operation Desert Storm.
The Egyptian units participate in all the wars of Egypt, and it was the first army reached to city of Kuwait after its liberation.
Egypt's Saka forces performed with distinction in Operation Desert Storm, returning home as national heroes. Egyptian President Mubarak personally greeted each of the soldiers injured in the operation, offering the heartfelt thanks of the nation for their sacrifices. The Saka forces, Egypt's desert warfare specialists, were decorated for their valor, a fitting reward for their years of training, dedication, and constant courage. To be a member of Saka is a solemn responsibility, an honor proudly worn. The Saka commando today, like the country he serves, stands poised to face the future, while nobly reflecting the timeless glory of the past.
Later tonight, join the adventurers in shark-infested waters. But first, it's a life of bumps, bruises, and bad-tempered bulls. Meet the rodeo clown on Those Who Dare, next.